Welcome to Red-tastic. Story 1. Am I the a-hole for choosing my cousin and friends over my family for a trip I want to Japan? So, I participated in the Genius Olympiad, a science comp, and didn't win the best prize but won me a two-way air ticket to Japan for me plus 3. So I decided that those plus 3 would be my cousin and 2 of my good friends. My parents and sister are furious that I didn't choose them after they offered to pay for the hotel. But I denied, as I was once falsely accused of physical harassment of a girl when I was in high school. The girl's cool dad took back the charges and confessed publicly that the girl was depressed and wanted attention. And no one but my friends and cousin believed me that I was innocent. They apologized and were very sorry. But I mean, you must have trust in your son and brother, and it's too late for them to get my respect anymore. Am I the a-hole? Edit. I was the troublemaker of my class, but never had I laid my hands on a girl before. I shouldn't be expecting my complaints. But I had no clue they would believe something like that. Now, they don't hate me, but I am easily the least loved one in my family. I feel like I was an unplanned baby. I'm not depressed. I don't need therapy as I am emotionally very happy, but just disappointed in my family. They do treat me well now, but I just decided they were not with me at my worst time, so they should not be with me at my best time either. My parents and I are good now. They love my sister way more than me. My sister is acting entitled, but still doesn't annoy me. It's just I chose my friends over family because I love them more. Thanks, your replies helped a lot. I'm being a bit childish. I recently went on a family trip to Thailand. It was all good then. I was just a bit surprised this time that they acted this way. You're not the a-hole, OP. You won the prize. I believe you should get to choose the people you go on the trip with. And if your cousin and friends seem like a better choice to you, then go for it. I get that your family would be disappointed that you didn't choose them, but sadly, this just shows that they have a lot more work to do in gaining your forgiveness. You say you've forgiven them for not believing and taking your side when you were accused wrongly, but it's obvious there's still a little bit of resentment you're holding on to. I hope you all are able to sort this out by talking about your feelings. Now for some comments. Everyone sucks here. You're the a-hole for holding a grudge against family instead of trying to forgive past mistakes, especially after they apologized. They're the a-holes for not believing in their own child, and sister is just a dumb youngling. Especially since it's a Genius Olympiad, you should have the guts to forgive and forget. Not the a-hole as long as they didn't donate significant time and or money that helped you succeed in your competition. If they helped you practice a few questions or gave you a few dollars for the bus, then no. But if they worked with you for an hour every day for 2 weeks, or spent a lot of time and money getting you to contests, then you're the a-hole. If not, then it's your prize. You earned it and they should have no say. Not the a-hole. However, I do think that you should change your perspective from who's more deserving to who I would have the most fun with. It's your trip and your choice as to whom you take with you. I've been on global trips with friends as well as with parents, and I can tell you that they are two completely different experiences entirely. I would make sure that your cousin and friends know that you're taking them because you'd love to share the experience with them, and not because they earned it somehow. Story 2. Am I the a-hole for telling my soon-to-be sister-in-law that if she brings her children to my wedding, I will have her ejected by security? I'm going to try to cut a long story short here. Basically, I'm getting married soon. Yay me! My partner's family has been heavily involved due to tradition and wanting the wedding to be somewhat traditional, which I have no problem with. The wedding is going to be traditional and their parents have helped with funding some of the wedding. Now, we have no children and don't plan on having any anytime soon. However, their sister does. She has 3. We've asked all of our friends and my family to not bring children to the wedding at any part during the day, as we don't want kids there. Now, I work with kids and have no problem with kids, but I know that a lot of kids don't have very much spatial awareness for the scenarios they are in. Therefore, me and my partner don't want children at the wedding. My family was fine with it. Our friends are fine with it. Sister-in-law throws up a fuss. We have hired out quite a nice place for the event, and it comes with an on-site security for the event. At my partner's birthday party the other week, my sister-in-law was adamant that she was bringing her children to the day's proceedings. We argued for a bit, but in the end I just told her that if she brings her kids to my wedding, I would have her and her kids ejected by security. While my parents are on my side, I'm getting a lot of fallback from her family, and it's just causing a whole lot of headache for everyone. I'm unsure how I'm going to solve it. So am I the a-hole? Did I go too far? Edit. Someone suggested I should mention this here. No kids were on the invites. You're not the a-hole, OP. Your sister-in-law is. It's your wedding and you say no kids are allowed. You even mentioned it on the invite, and yet your sister-in-law thinks she should be an exception? Why? What makes her an exception? If she can't follow the rules and respect your decisions to have no kids at your wedding, then yes, she deserves to get kicked out. Now for some comments. OP, it's your day, and you get to make the rules. Just because she popped out kids doesn't mean she's entitled to bring them places where they're not wanted. Wanted. Especially to someone's one-time special event where no kids is explicitly stated. I'm sure there are other invitees with children that won't show up with them because you said not to bring them. Sister-in-law sounds like an entitled mommy who probably starts sentences with, well, as a parent. Not the a-hole. What an entitled brat to think she has the right to have her children crash your wedding. I had exactly one relative try to say they were bringing their not invited kids, and we told them if they insisted on bringing their kids, they were simply uninvited. It is your wedding and your day, not hers. I would hope that your partner actively backs you up on this, not just supports your decision and stays out of it. Also, hope your fiancé deals with their sister on this issue from now on though, as she's more of their problem and they should be willing to deal with the drama of their own family. Not the a-hole, it's your wedding day. If you don't want kids there, then they don't come. I had an aunt and uncle miss my wedding because they were watching my cousin's child. And I understand that. Just like they understood my no kids policy. If she can't understand that it's your day, then she should not come. Hopefully you will only get one wedding day and it should be all about you and your future husband, not her and her kids. The only exceptions I would make would be a breastfeeding child with the understanding that the child would be removed to another room if it were to become a problem. Story 3. Am I the a-hole for banning my niece from my home? Hi all, I'm the second of 4 children. Myself and all my siblings have children of our own. My son Adam and daughter Maria are 13 and 11. My sister Claire and her husband Matt have one daughter, Rachel. Rachel is 15 and she is a massive bully to the other kids. Since she's the oldest, all the girls look up to her, and since she was little, she has a few cousins who she has enjoyed excluding and making them feel left out. Every family gathering for as long as I can remember has ended with someone in tears and the problem usually being traced back to Rachel. Yesterday, Maria came up to me crying because Rachel told her that she was stupid and ugly. I had a word with Claire and said that while she and Matt are welcome, I don't want them bringing Rachel here since she is a bully and troublemaker. There is a problem, however. Rachel was born with numerous health conditions: type 1 diabetes, asthma, and life-threatening allergies. She also has a very poor vision and even with her glasses cannot see perfectly. Claire tried to tell me it wasn't fair to exclude Rachel given everything else she has been through. I do understand her perspective. Rachel is constantly in and out of hospital, and her health is understandably a huge worry for her parents. But even so, she comes here and teases her cousins until they cry. And Claire and Matt insist that their pretty princess is just joking. I've told Claire that if Rachel apologizes to Maria, then I may consider letting her come. But until then, I don't want her in my home. Now for some comments. You're not the a-hole. You are a parent. Your first priority is to your children. I understand why you made that decision. On the flip side, maybe you can find some compromise. It sounds like your niece is really immature, and much of that may stem from her health issues. Talk to your sister and your niece. She is old enough to understand what she is saying is bullying. See if you can find a positive way to include her. Just my 2 cents. Not the a-hole. The fact that Rachel has all those health problems does not give her the green light to bully others. I also don't get why her parents are using it as an excuse and allowing their daughter to torment others. This is incredibly irresponsible on their end, especially if they were aware of the issue for a while now. Why are your children tasked with being her punching bags as her own parents sit back with the entitled attitude? I would personally cut them as well if they have the audacity to think that their child is somehow above mine. Not the a-hole. I'm a type 1 diabetic, and under no circumstance is that a cause for bad behavior, unless her blood sugars are ridiculously uncontrolled, which is something that her parents should be dealing with. It's a disease of the physical body, not mind and attitude. Tons of kids have type 1 diabetes, asthma, and allergies, and not one of those affects mental health. She might be going through burnout, but until she and her parents get healthy, it's like trying to reason with a brick wall, and you shouldn't feel obligated to deal with her bullshit.